Steve Loomis with Walking That Mile. I want to talk about women in policing. So I want to start off with a video. So this is a video that was shared on X today with a lot of negative comments about female officers. So all you get, I think on X, all you get was this: they were going to a disturbance of some kind, and this is what happened.
Please, Barbara. Hey! No! Get back! I'll get you pointed to take physical. No. Get down. Stop it. Get away. Go. No. Stay here. Stay here. Hey! You got a knife.
You're gonna get tased. Do you hear me? You will get.
Get away.
You will get shot.
Okay.
Put it down. Put it down. Do you understand me?
I didn't want to do that.
Okay. Did you let it go? Do you have? Look at me. Do you have anything else on you?
I'm ready. Just go ahead.
Okay. Listen to what he's telling you. He's down. It's a predict.
I got it.
Do you have it?
Knife's gone.
Okay, pretty chaotic, pretty dramatic, and that's what you got. So that was it. And then the question was, should women be in policing? And the comments were about how that woman took too long to back up her partner. When she got there, they called her things like fat, and she was too slow, and she should have been, quicker to get to him to help him out. Okay, those were the things that were talked about. Those were the comments that were made. So I want to go back. Okay, so this is what was posted on the Cathedral City Police Department, which is where this happened. So Cathedral City is in California. It's very close to Palm Springs. It's between Palm Springs and Rancho Mirage, I think. It's about a 54,000 city population, 54,000. They put on their website that they respond to 42.5 thousand calls per year, which is pretty good, which is pretty busy. 25 patrol officers in the whole place. So here is this is what they posted. This is what they posted on their website. So it says, for you just listening, it says Cathedral City Police Department, attempted murder July 27, 2025. Officers involved on July 27th at 3:11 p.m. Cathedral City Police Dispatch received a 911 call regarding a verbal disturbance between family members. Officer Marcus Ayala responded to the scene and attempted to make contact with the involved parties. Okay, that's it. 911 call regarding a verbal disturbance between family members. So we would call it a verbal domestic. Okay, so they'll tell you that it's graphic, warning. So here right away, you can see a difference, okay? In the video on X, the officer was already just approaching the door opens and the fight's on, okay? So here, and of course this is surveillance video, this is their own personal surveillance video at the house where this incident happened. But you can see the door open, they even show you enough so that you can see that this young man is poking his head out. He knows that the cops are coming. Clearly, he's waiting for them. So he's checking to see if they're here yet. He opens the door, he checks, he closes the door, and you can see glass window on the door. You may not be able to see clearly through, but you can see figures and that kind of stuff. It just closes the door just as this officer starts walking up. Okay, so this is Officer Ayala. So for me, what do you notice about this? Obviously, the X video started like right, even when he was a little bit closer than that. Okay, so he's bebopping up to this door, and I don't mean to be negative about the guy. The guy does fantastic, But he's gone to 1,000 of these calls. Okay, it's a 911 call, disturbance between family members. That's all he has. Okay, so he comes bopping up to the door, just ready to help. What do you need?
Please, Barbara. Hey!
And immediately the fight is on, right? Like the door opens before he doesn't. He knocks when the door is already starting to come open. Okay, and this guy is right there, and he's got a knife, and he reacts. I mean, fantastic. This is fantastic. Now he could have taken that knife in the head right now. He doesn't. But the fight is on, and this kid is obviously, he's not a kid. This man is obviously intent. He's going right for the abdomen, like he's going for it with this knife. Now you can see the woman is trying to help too. So she called in a 911 disturbance. From this information, I don't think she knows that he had a knife, or they had a disturbance. He went and got a knife. She didn't know about it, because she's in the fight too. I mean, she's going for this knife. She's trying to stop him too. He even switches. You can see him. The knife was in his right hand, and now he switches to the left hand.
Get back!
Okay, so now right there is the first call for help from the officer over the radio. And if you didn't hear it, he says his badge number and he says physical. That's what I hear him say. So I think they all know that he's in a physical fight. And that's what his, quickly get on the radio, physical, meaning I'm in a fight with somebody right now. Okay? You can see this guy has switched the knife to his left hand, so he's not going to be nearly as strong with this stabbing with this hand, but he did that because this woman, whoever this is, I think it's his mom, is also trying to stop him.
Get down! Stop it! Get away! Go!
Okay, so he takes him down. I mean, this officer is doing fantastic. It's very impressive how he handles this situation. He takes him down to the ground. The knife is still in the guy's left hand. Okay, the knife is right there up against, right up against his chest at this point. Now you see the woman, the female officer, come. As soon as she hears over the radio that it's a physical fight, she's up there. And that is the first time that she hears him say that he has a knife, okay? Up until this point, she doesn't know that. On the radio, he said he's in a physical fight. He didn't say he's got a knife, okay? So she comes around the corner, sees her partner fighting with this guy. She comes over to help. She jumps on him, and this is the first time she hears him say, and maybe she doesn't even hear. Like we've got things like auditory exclusion, where you're not hearing things clearly, and your mind is racing. What do I do? How do I deal with this situation right now? This is a dynamic situation. And so she jumps on him.
You're gonna
So he says it a second time, he's got a knife, and what is the first thing out of her mouth? You're gonna get effing tased. Okay? Right there, also people jump all over her about, as soon as she said taser, I knew what the problem was. Okay? She's been there for a split second. Well, what do we train with? We train with tasers. Tasers, if you have distance, taser versus a knife is an option. It's not an awesome option because that they can close that distance really quickly. But we do train that if you have time, if you have distance, if you have something in the way that if you can tase him, and he's got him, he's holding him down, and in that split second, she thinks taser, or she verbalizes taser.
You hear me? You will get.
And immediately she switches, okay? So like the next thing out of her mouth is, no, I'm not going for a taser. I'm going for a gun. This guy brought a knife to a gunfight.
You will get shot.
Okay.
Put it down.
She unholsters her gun.
You understand me?
I didn't want to do that.
Okay. Did you let it go? Look at me. Do you have anything else on you?
I'm ready. Just wake me up, dude.
Okay. Listen to what he's telling you. He's down. Schizophrenic.
I got it.
Do you have it?
Knife's gone.
There you go. So that situation online blew up with so many people saying women don't belong in law enforcement. She was slow. One of the first comments that I saw, and there were a number of them, was that she was way too slow. She's fat. She's way too slow to get there. She was slow going to help her partner. And that was one of the big things. And, it's the cesspool of X. And so people don't know anything. They just comment on everything, right? And everybody's an expert on everything. So they said that she was too slow to get there, okay? So what I'll say to that is what we know. Look at the video from Cathedral Police Department. They say they were dispatched to a 911 call. It says there were a disturbance between family members. Okay? This male officer, Ayala, he didn't know that this guy was going to come out with a knife. If the report was that there was a man with a knife, you would think that there would be a different approach. Okay? So I'm going to be hard on him because his approach is too soft. He didn't wait for backup. It's a domestic disturbance call. He went up there by himself. Now, again, the claim is that, she didn't get out of the car fast enough to go help him. It's like, why did he go up there by himself? He shouldn't have gone up there by himself. He should have just waited for his backup. And these guys aren't probably riding in a two-man squad. They're probably riding in solo squads. So Officer Ayala probably got there first and just bebopped up to the house. And again, it's complacency. We all get there. I've been on the job for 20 years. You go to calls and it's a verbal dispute between family members is what it came out as. He's handled thousands of those calls probably, and they all go fine. And he knows he's got backup coming because they always should have somebody coming, but he thinks, well, I can just initiate and I'll have backup to help me sort it out. Okay, so he bebops up there all by himself. So I would say that that's on him, is that he put himself into that position when he didn't need to. He could have waited. They could have met on the street, come up as a 2 or 3 man team to go up there and approach this situation. So that was on him. Now, man, he reacts unbelievable. I mean, his reaction time to seeing this guy coming at him with a knife is impressive, is extremely impressive. I'd be interested to know what kind of skills he has, what kind of training he has, because that was unbelievable. Went right to a tackle, went for the double leg. Now, if he's not wearing that vest, he's taking shots with that knife. I mean, that guy's stabbing him, and he's stabbing him in the torso. So, he goes through all that. When he gets him pinned and there's a pause, then he calls on the radio that he's in a physical fight. But he doesn't say knife. At least I don't hear a knife over the radio when he says that. So now she's getting there because she's there to back him up. And now she knows, I really gotta go. So she runs up there. He tackles him. Immediately after calling on the radio, he's got him pinned down. Now she comes around the corner and she just sees her partner fighting with somebody on the ground. And so she beats feet to get up there. But when she gets there is the first time that she hears that there's a knife. Okay? Now you got to understand these situations, dynamic situations, your partner's in a fight. You're trying to figure out, as you get up there, what the heck to do. And then he says he's got a knife. You get on top, she gets on top of him, I think, first, and, pins him down at the head and chest area before he ever says knife. And he says he's got a knife. In the middle of the chaos, he's got a knife. Okay. And so whether that registers to her, it clearly registers something, she starts acting, and he says it a second time. He's got a knife, and so she blurts out, "You're gonna get effing tased," okay? And that just came out, like, and she went for, she even put her hand on her taser, and then she thought better of it. Like our reaction time isn't that great. She then was like, "Nope, it's not a taser day. It's a gun day." She said, "You're gonna get effing shot." Pulls out her gun, puts it to his chest, and then the fight's over. Okay. So from that whole scenario, for people to be like, "Oh, look, women don't belong in law enforcement," I have no idea where these people are coming from, except that they can say stuff like, "Oh, she should have been there to back up her partner. She should have been up there faster. She wasn't quick enough." Okay? He didn't wait. Okay? So that's not on her. That's on him. You have all day. Like, you don't know that, and the people in the house aren't saying that they're being threatened by a knife. The woman obviously is surprised. The mother, who I think is the mother, is obviously surprised that this guy has the knife too, and she's trying to help too. She is in danger, and her son is swinging this knife around, and she's going for it too. So she clearly didn't know that he had a knife at the moment that officer answered the door. So, yeah. So that's this is what we get. This is the cesspool of X, the cesspool of social media, as far as, here you go. And if you notice, they online, if you see this video online, they start with the officer just approaching. He's right up there, just approaching the door, and this happens. Okay, again, why did he approach? It's complacency. We all get there. I'm not saying anything bad about him as an officer. He got lucky. He made a choice to go up there by himself, and again, he's taken hundreds, thousands of these calls, and they've all gone fine. And so he's just lulled into a typical disturbance, like, I got this. And he got lucky. He also has some amazing skills that he put on display there as well. But he got lucky. I mean, that guy, if he snuck that knife in, hit him at a different angle, we could be talking about something terrible here. So I've been a police officer for nearly 20 years, and today I want to address a claim that I saw on social media about women not belonging as patrol officers because they're physically weaker. So I strongly disagree, and I'm here to explain why women are not only capable but essential for policing. I'll share a few stats of use of force and 5 key reasons why women actually excel in policing. So let's break this down. First of all, let's address the physical strength concern. On average, women have less physical strength than men. That's just a fact, which absolutely can affect them in use of force situations. But the reality is, use of force is just a small portion of what policing really is. Most encounters don't require force. Some stats for you. Bureau of Justice Statistics did a police public contact survey. So it was a survey of people who were contacted by police between 2002 and 2011. 21% of the U.S. population had some sort of face-to-face contact with police in a year. Okay, so the total number of contacts per year is about 50 million. Out of those contacts, only 1.6% of those involve some sort of physical force, some sort of use of physical force by the police. Okay, this 1.6% includes any use of physical force. The person determining whether force was used was the person surveyed. So it's from a survey of constituents who had some sort of use of force used against them. That means 98.4% of interactions don't involve physical force, where physical strength is a defining factor, okay? as an average-sized male officer, I've been faced with stronger people, stronger suspects. Okay? And I'm a man. I'm what people online think should be an officer. Now, I'm not the biggest, strongest, bulkiest guy, but I'm what people claim that they want in an officer. Okay? But strength and just being a male isn't a guarantee of success for anyone in a physical use of force situation. Okay, context matters. Use of force isn't always a knockdown, drag out fight. Most incidents involve lesser actions which further reduce the need for physical dominance. Community policing is a big part of policing these days. It's been taught since I was in the academy. Community policing reduces the use of force. Officers get to know their areas where they work. In smaller agencies, they might, know the entire town. Even in large areas, large cities, officers know their districts and the problem areas, which reduce surprises. We in policing, we get to know the people in the areas that we frequent. We try and get to know a majority of the population, but we especially get to know the frequent flyers, the places that we always go, the apartment buildings that we always go, the houses that we always go to, and the people that we always have contact with. This includes people who live and work in the area and people who are always in the area for some other reason. It should come as no surprise that law enforcement officers have repeated contact with a small portion of the population. Like I said, frequent flyers. We know the people who we frequently contact and know the ones who have a tendency to hide, fight, or flee. We have a good idea of a lot of that. We communicate well with our own agency and between agencies and often receive a heads up, like in a real radio, real-time radio traffic about an address or a person who was just contacted by a fellow officer. Okay? So this might sound something like this. Dispatch Officer Loomis, we need to send you to 101 First Street for an out-of-control male. Okay, another officer gets on. Loomis, it's Anderson. We were there this afternoon. The male is likely going to be Sven. Sven just lost his job and is intoxicated and very loud. He's a big guy, so bring a couple officers with you. We didn't have any problem with him, but he can easily get out of hand. Okay, so that would be an instance where everybody working listens to the radio and is like, hey, I know who you're probably going to contact. Like, I just talked to that guy today, or we've been dealing with that guy all week. Okay, so communication is huge. We also keep records that are easily accessible, like notations or flags in our systems on certain addresses or people. These flags can be about people, places that have proven to be dangerous in the past. They also could be just relevant information that helps us do our job. An example of this is, Dispatched Officer Loomis, we are getting a call from a Mr. Brandish. He is mad about the noise his upstairs neighbors are making. Officer Loomis, there is a note on Mr. Brandish that he is very hard of hearing and always carries a pocket knife. It also says the door to his apartment is unlabeled, but is the only door on the west side of the building. Okay? So that's the kind of information that we keep, we have our officers get when they're responding to calls. Okay? Knowing the community allows us to use de-escalation in the form of bringing backup, adjusting our tactics, minimizing the need for use of force. Even further reducing the need to use force. If we know this is an address that we have an issue, we bring more people. We overwhelm them with just people, and people don't want to fight anymore. All right, if it was one-on-one, maybe I'm going to fight you, but you bring 3 officers and there's no way I'm going to win, I'm not going to fight you. Okay, so that's adjusting our tactics, bringing backup, knowing the situation, taking our time. In the video that I just showed you, that officer, again, it's complacency. And I'm not ragging on him. He looks like he's a great officer. But he didn't take his time. He didn't wait for backup. And that nearly ended in something really tragic. Okay? So now policing can be unpredictable, of course. A person who is usually calm can become angry and violent. A benign situation can become dangerous. But knowing our communities, utilizing technology, and gathering and sharing information allows us to do our jobs while keeping everyone as safe as possible. The next I want to talk about is 5 reasons women excel on patrol. Okay, number 1 is de-escalation and communication. Women often excel in verbal and emotional intelligence, critical for calming tense situations. Women are better communicators, specifically verbally, right? I mean, we all know that. As guys, we know that we talk less than women. They can talk a situation down. And like it or not, people respond to women differently than they respond to men. And sometimes just a woman being there, at least some men especially, might calm down or decide that they're not going to do something physical to a woman. Now, that's not always the case, obviously, but just their presence can be a calming factor. It's also worth noting that some men, like I said, certainly not all men, but some men respect women more and de-escalate when a female officer is present. Think about the man who's like, I would never hit a woman, or I was taught never to hit a woman. The drunk guy you go to deal with, and male officers there, and they're just screaming and yelling at you. Woman shows up, and they take their hat off. Okay, like those things happen. Again, it's not every situation that just a woman's presence is gonna de-escalate it, but it can help. So in a 2020 National Bureau of Economic Research study found women officers are less likely to use excessive force due to better communication and conflict resolution. It just is. Number 2, empathy and community trust. Women tend to score higher in empathy, building trust in sensitive cases, especially like domestic violence or sexual assault. Stats 2019 study in the Policing and International Journal showed that victims rated female officers higher for trust and emotional support and led to improvement in case outcomes. Next one, attention to detail and multitasking. Women often excel at multitasking and attention to detail, vital for investigations, report writing, and managing complex scenes. Okay? Again, as men, we don't like to admit it, but women are built different. Women often can juggle multiple tasks at the same time a lot better than we can. So multitasking, attention to detail, which are vital for these things, investigations, report writing, managing complex scenes. 2017 International Association of Chiefs of Police report said that these skills enhance efficiency in both administrative and operational roles. Number 4, lower rates of misconduct. Women face fewer complaints, lawsuits for misconduct, or excessive force. 2021 University of Pennsylvania study, female officers' restrained diplomatic approach leads to better outcomes in high-pressure situations. Again, it just some of this stuff just makes sense, right? Women tend to be able to come in and talk, where men, myself included, I think I got better over the 20 years, but get in and say, hey, I'm the cop here, I'm telling you what to do, and you're going to do it now. And some people will comply because they respect your authority. The people who don't respect that authority, then the fight's on. And if you can come in with a little bit more of a diplomatic approach, and women tend to be better at that, they can de-escalate a situation and stop a fight from ever starting. Number 5, team dynamics and collaboration. Women promote teamwork and reduce conflict within departments. A 2018 Department of Justice report said that female officers enhance unit cohesion, improve overall team performance. Again, it just, when you say it, it just makes sense. Okay, so those are the 5 things. To recap, the idea that women don't belong on patrol ignores that 98.4% of police work where physical strength isn't the issue and overlooks women's unique strengths. Okay, 98.4% of calls, situations that police get into, according to the data that I named here, 98.4% of police work did not need any sort of use of force. And of that 1.6% that did need force, they're not all knockdown, drag out. Like, you have to be a big, burly guy to have dealt with that situation. So the percentage, the number of calls where it's just brute force that you need to win is even smaller. And it overlooks women's unique strengths and abilities and what they bring to the table, what they help male officers do. Okay? They work well together. You know, oftentimes things like, especially the sensitive things like domestic assaults, sexual assaults, a lot of those victims are women. It's really helpful for the victim, since we're victim-centered. You know, we're community policing, we're victim-centered. It's really helpful to have women who can be there to take some of those calls when the woman is not nearly as comfortable talking to a man. Now that's not always the case either. There's plenty of female victims who do just fine talking to men. But yeah, to say that women don't belong on patrol is just ridiculous. Women's skills in de-escalation, empathy, multitasking, professionalism, teamwork make them invaluable for policing. Let's move past this outdated stereotype and recognize the critical role women play in keeping our community safe. I'm Steve Loomis with Walking That Mile.